so today we got this little G-body El Camino. Well, it's actually a GMC Caballero, but this is gonna be our next little project. We're gonna be installing a WILWOOD disc brake kit on the front and some upper and lower control arms on the back. Super clean car. It's kind of a street car. It's not race car or anything like that. It's actually got rims and everything on it. We're going to, I'll show you the rims later. We haven't fit everything on that part of it yet, but today we're going to work on getting the control arms and everything put on the car, getting the brakes fit on the car. So we'll kind of go into details on what you got to do, getting everything to fit, and kind of getting all the arms and everything put on and adjusted. But stay tuned for the video. E-body going to kind of show you how to do that. Just the ear thing pushing on one end. Got the heim joint on the other. Aluminum center. Still got the provisions for the sway bar, so if you do want to run the rear sway bar, you can. We wouldn't normally run these like in a race application. We would run double heim joint on both ends, rod end, something chromoly, double adjustable. That way. Alright, so CJ's taking the upper control arm out. He can kind of tell you what he's doing.
Trying to get some rusty bolts out right now.
Okay.
You take this bolt out and that bolt out, and you just want to make sure you have something holding the rear end up so it don't try to fall on you. So you just take those out and it pops off and bolt the new one on there.
Alright, just give you a little pointer here on the initial setup on these, since they are adjustable. Take your original control arm after you get it off, and then before you install this one, just to kind of, since it's not double adjustable, you have to actually drop the bolt out on one side and then drop it down to adjust it. Take your tape measure and just kind of measure your original control arms center to center on these two holes, and that'll kind of get you in the neighborhood of where it was originally, and then you can still go back and play with it and adjust it if you need to, but like I said, you just got to drop that lower bolt out so you can drop it down to get the heim adjusted. Alright, so here's the car working on. GMC Caballero. Super clean car. Got rims and everything on it. We hadn't fit them exactly, so I don't want to show you that yet. That's going to be another video. But basically what we're doing, we're getting rid of these old brakes. Putting a little bit bigger style brake on it, just upgrading it. Putting a WILWOOD kit on it. And then what we're going to do, get over here, show you all the rear what we got going. Basically, we already started the rear install. Gonna put upper and lower control arms on it. Kind of give you all an idea how to do that. It's not too hard of a job. It's fairly simple. Already got a set of QA1 coilovers on the rear. Like I said, we still got to do some notching and fitting to get the wheels to fit, but stay tuned for the video. Alright, so this is the spindle. We got factory G-body spindle. Just kind of show you what you got to do on these for these brake kits. This is the new WILWOOD bracket. So basically what you have to do, you see it lines up with that hole there, and it lines up with the hole on the bottom. So basically the factory ear then is not necessary. You have to actually cut the ear off there and then cut the ear off there. Usually what we do is just try to scribe a line as close to the back of the bracket as possible, because you need to give yourself enough room in here actually to get the bolt on the back of the caliper. So just take your cut off wheel or pretty much whatever you got that you can cut it with, cut you off that ear down through there, and you're gonna have to cut this ear off through here. And then once you get that on there, usually it comes with different thread pitch bolts, so you have to drill out these factory holes here and here and retap them to the size that they usually send with the kit.
And I'm gonna take and round that corner off, make it look a little better.
Alright, so basically what he did, he's got both ears cut here and here like I was talking about before. So now he's just gonna come in here and take the grinder, clean this off, round these edges off. You just gotta like I said, make sure you leave yourself enough room once you bolt this caliper on to be able to get to the bolt on the back side of it. But we'll get it all cleaned up and get it prepped, and we'll go ahead and drill it and tap it and get it ready for the bracket to go on it. Ooh. What you doing right now?
Trying to get this caliper spacing right so I'm not just riding on that rotor the whole time it's spinning. There we go. See how that looks. Can't really tell till it's tightened down. So you kind of have to get it all put together with whatever spacing you want to use, and then if it's wrong, take it all apart.
Yeah, build it twice.
Yeah. See if I can find it. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little too tight, actually. Need to add another one.
I mean, it's just a couple shims on the back.
Yeah, I had 2 of them. I mean, it's not touching. It's just...
You ain't sitting in the hook rotor yet?
Not quite. So I think I'm going to add another one.
Yeah, try to get it dead middle.
Yeah. Don't want to wear out one pad before the other one, especially on expensive pads, you know?
That's right.
Let's break fluid. It's not good anyways.
Yeah, all over the nice paint. Yeah, so basically what we're doing, we're just sucking all the old fluid out of the master cylinder. So when we take it off, we don't make a huge ass mess all over this nice paint this man has on this car.
Don't quite have enough in my fingers.
So here's the old master cylinder right here. This is the new one we're putting in. Smaller diameter piston, so it'll have a little bit more pressure. Something you need to keep in mind on these things is we look right here at the back of these two distances right here. Some of these master cylinders don't come with an adapter in here, so when you check your brake rod length, you need to make sure that that's the same, because otherwise you'll hop in the car thinking you got everything good to go, trying to bleed the brakes, and you won't have no pedal because the end of this master cylinder will be a little bit different. So that's something to keep in mind when you're putting these new master cylinders on there. Fancy stuff. Alright, so here's an important step everybody skips. So most of these kits come with the hoses, so you can, it's called bench bleeding the master cylinder. Gets all the air out of the master cylinder before you actually hook your lines up. So it takes a little bit longer, kind of makes a mess a little bit, but it's a good step to do if you want to have a little bit easier go of getting all the air out of the brakes when you do start bleeding the system out. It just makes it a little bit faster, a little bit easier. You can kind of see all the air coming out of it now. You just don't want to pump too fast, just pump kind of slow and it'll slowly work all the bubbles out of it. And then just keep a check on the fluid, make sure you don't run it dry. Okay, so we got the rear all wrapped up. Kind of did a little walkthrough, go over what we did again. Pretty much just change the uppers and lowers. Like I said, the upper control arms, they're nice, double adjustable. It's got a single adjustable lower. We are going to come back in here and change the upper housing bushings and also upgrade the hardware for the control arms. just to get a little bit better bolt in it. You know, if he does wind up putting more power in the car later on, it won't break them. But something I want to go over too to show y'all is we get a lot of grief about exhaust and how much we charge to do exhaust. And I'm going to show y'all why we charge what we charge. So this is kind of a typical exhaust shop pipe bender that they use. And you can see right there where it just kinks the pipe up really bad. Even here on this particular bend, it kind of shrinks the bend. So it's just a small exhaust anyway. But we use mandrel bent stuff on all of our exhaust. It takes a little more time. It costs a little bit more money, but that is the reason why we do that. And like I said, you're just robbing power basically, choking the exhaust down like that. But that's just something to keep in mind when you do go to these exhaust shops, is, you know, what type benders they use. And yeah, the price may reflect, but in the long run, you're going to get a better job if you use someone who does mandrel bent pipe. So that pretty much takes care of the rear. I'm gonna walk around and show y'all the front, kind of wrap that side up. All right, so pretty much same thing on the front. Got the WILWOOD brakes installed. Got everything shimmed out, bled out already. It's got the stainless line, basically got the flex hoses on it. Makes it a little bit easier to hook the calipers up. So pretty much straightforward on the front. I'll let the car down and show y'all the master cylinder, and that'll pretty much wrap everything up. All right, so there she is. We're actually gonna keep working on this in a little bit. We still have to do the rims, get them fitting correct. They got them put on. It's drivable the way it is, but to get the car to sit like the customer wants it to sit, we're gonna wind up doing a little bit more in the rear. All the brakes turned out nice. Stops good. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get in this back area. We're going to probably wind up lowering the back another probably 1 or 2 inches. Something I will point out that they already did before the car was painted, but so when you roll these quarters, a lot of times what we do is we'll actually just, you know, roll them either with a tool or actually roll them, you know, hammer roll them basically. And I don't cut them. Like I don't really like to cut them, because when you go in here in the back of this quarter and you cut little slices all up through here, well, what happens is when you go to roll it, yeah, it folds up nice. It lays over flat, but you wind up getting little kink spots all right in the corners, right where you cut it. Well, also, if you don't cut it, when you actually hammer on it, this whole area will actually swell out just a little bit. So it just makes it easier to fit the wheels. So that's something to keep in mind. If a lot of guys will go in there and that's the first thing they do is get a blade out and start cutting on it, but you don't have to do that. There's ways around it. So just keep that in mind before you go cutting on the back of the car. Like I said, there's different ways. We're going to wind up narrowing the rear end a little bit, getting the wheel to sit up under it, and doing a little notching on the frame just to get it to clear. But we'll show that in the next episode. Like I said, we're going to get the rims fitting the way you want them and get the car dropped down. But stay tuned for that one. All right, so that's pretty much going to be it for this one for today. Just stay tuned. Like I said, we're going to be fitting the rims on and getting the car sitting right. And then, like I said, if you got any questions or anything y'all like to see in particular, just leave us a comment. I'll try to read everything, and we'll try to, in the videos, address it and try to show different things. I said we work on all types of cars, so I can't show all the grudge stuff we do. So pretty much just have to show the daily drivers, and we can show some of the hot rods. And some of the grudge cars, I don't care. Some of the cage work. But if there's anything in particular y'all like to see, just let us know, and we'll try our best to address it and give y'all a little bit more to watch. Thank you.